Hello everyone, you've surely seen huge ships deploying their colossal anchors, but do you really know their purpose? Many people think that a ship's anchor is simply there to be heavy, as if its weight alone were enough to keep the ship stationary. In reality, this idea is wrong. In the collective imagination, anchor is often perceived as a simple heavy object meant to prevent a ship from drifting. Yet, its history goes back millennia and reveals a much richer symbolism, particularly in ancient Egypt and Greece. The earliest known inks appeared in ancient Egypt, around the 3rd millennium BCE. They were made of stone, sometimes pierced to allow a rope to pass through, and were used to stabilize boats on the Nile. But beyond their practical functions, they had a spiritual value. They represented stability, security, and the connection between the earthly world and the chaotic waters. In some funerary representations, ink symbolized eternal peace and the protection of the traveler in the afterlife. The primary role of anchor is not to provide weight, but to firmly anchor itself to the seabed. Its effectiveness relies on its shape and how it interacts with the seabed, far more than on its mass. When a ship drops anchor, it sinks to the seabed, pulled by the chain. It is not the weight of the anchor that holds the ship, but how its flukes, or legs, dig into the sand, mud, or between rocks. Once the chain tightens in the wind or current, the anchor lies flat and its flukes dig deep, creating horizontal resistance. This horizontal pull is essential. It allows the anchor to bite into the seabed and hold firmly. The chain, meanwhile, plays a crucial role. Its natural curve, called the catenary curve, dampens shocks and keeps the pulling force at a shallow angle, which helps the anchor stay buried. The longer and heavier the chain, the smoother and more efficient the traction. Thus, good anchor is designed to grip, not to weigh down. Its geometry, materials, and the type of seabed determine its performance. On sandy bottoms, it grips poorly, on grassy bottoms, it slips, and on clay bottoms, it bites well. Modern models, such as anchors designed for anchoring or burying, are lightweight yet extremely effective thanks to their wide fluke and ability to bury themselves quickly. Among the ancient Greeks, anchors evolved into metallic forms, often made of bronze or iron, with arms and flukes allowing for better grip on the seabed. Greek sailors already understood that the effectiveness of an anchor depended on its ability to anchor rather than its weight. In mythology, it evoked the fidelity and stability of souls, while in navigation, it embodied man's mastery over natural forces. The chain absorbs the ship's kinetic energy. This curve prevents the sudden jolts that could break the chain or tear the ink from the ground. Thus, the chain's curve acts like a giant spring. However, there is one condition: the rapid deployment of an ink chain, often called large release, generates serious physical, mechanical, and environmental consequences that test the very structure of the ship. When the tens of tons of steel links are released without restraint, the combined force of gravity and inertia creates exponential acceleration. At deck level, the extreme friction of the chain running at full speed through the hawsepipe and over the winch sprocket generates intense heat, causing violent sparks and a deafening noise, while also prematurely wearing down the metal parts through mechanical abrasion. Since the Industrial Revolution and the arrival of new technologies, inks have been almost forgotten in the marine industry. That's all for this video, folks. Feel free to tell me in the comments what exciting topics you'd like us to discuss next. Like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell. See you in the next video.